All right, let's check in with the listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Listeners, remember you can always reach us at the email address gamescoop@ngn.com, just like Dennis in Montreal did. Hey,
What's up, Dennis?
Dennison.
He says, hey, Game Scoop, love the show. I was just wondering if there are any games from the previous console generation where you think a sequel might really benefit from the increased or new capabilities of this generation of consoles. I'm referring to something more than a simple graphics upgrade, but something that could improve the game itself. One that comes to mind for me is From Dust by Ubisoft.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Though the game wasn't perfect, I really enjoyed its terraforming gameplay, and I feel like the more powerful consoles could allow it to try bigger, more exciting things and have more dynamic worlds. Yeah, From Dust was a cool game.
Yeah, it was a cool game, and it would benefit from more powerful technology would really help that game. Yeah,
so I think
absolutely.
that's a really good example.
Well, I have an answer, Damon.
What is it, Justin?
It's from 2 generations back, but I desperately think we need a Phantom Dust sequel. And I'm going to track down the person responsible for canceling the Phantom Dust reboot, and I'm going to kill them.
Wow. You heard it here first.
And
that's the sole reason that I work in the video game industry. That's your whole plan, is to find out who is responsible. No, but I mean,
this is Justin's memento moment.
You know that McCafferty's going to have that person in here like 3 weeks from now, and they're going to walk by your desk.
Yeah. Was it 2 E3s ago that they announced the remake of Phantom Dust?
Yeah, 2 or 3. I mean, I always
the years will
blur together to me.
And then they canceled it.
And they canceled it. Supposedly it's coming back, but I don't believe it. No, but I mean, that game would almost certainly be free to play and have a business model similar.
It's a card battle game.
Yeah,
right?
it's a game. It's a third-person action battler where you have a deck of cards, and that deck of cards determines what your abilities are. Like, so you're running around these 3D environments, fighting other people, casting spells and stuff based on the cards that you choose to put in your deck.
Okay.
It was super, super rad, super unique. So happy that someone, saw its brilliance, decided to bring it back. And the reason it would work in 2015 is because people are so much more receptive to things like Hearthstone and collecting aspects and
Star Wars trading cards.
Trading cards.
Would you like to tell the audience more about it?
No, I'm all right. We don't have time.
No, we don't. We do not at all.
So that's why it's less about sort of the capabilities of the console, although the always online nature of these consoles helps. But and it's more to do with just sort of accepted business practices that I think Phantom Dust would have really, really gone over swimmingly this time around.
That's a great answer.
Brandon, how about you? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Yes. I have one, but I was just thinking off the top of my head, like, we're going to get it. Like, I think Halo Wars last gen was amazing.
Yeah, we are.
And
yeah.
I think any sort of tactical or strategy game, which you don't get too many on consoles, but I think anything like that can benefit from more horsepower. But in that same vein, a game, and I think it was 2 generations ago, actually, it was the original Xbox, a series called Kingdom Under Fire. I think like Dynasty Warriors, but like set in a fantasy realm, like Lord of the Rings kind of thing. And you had your character that you just waded through just droves of enemies and just like, it's like Sauron in the beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring where he hits something and everything just goes flying off screen. Like, it's literally that experience. It was a great game, and you got to control your armies. You got to wade through and just wreak havoc. And I mean, obviously, more horsepower, more effects, more things on screen, more tactical strategy, stuff like that. I would love to see it. Supposedly they were making it, I think it was Fantagram. Supposedly they were making a third one. It was going to come out for PS3 and be sort of this MMO model. And I think it just never surfaced. Supposedly it's still in development, but
Vaporware.
Yeah, I love that idea of using the processing power, not necessarily to make things prettier, but just to make more of them. That's what Earth Defense Force games live and die on. I love them for that. But for me, that one's something that would benefit from the graphical capability and the processing power. Red Dead. I want Red Dead Redemption 2 on a next-gen console. I like to think about that game was kind of a marvel when it was released. Just like, wow, I didn't know you could do that with an Xbox. And then to come into the next generation and think how they could push that on next-generation hardware. Those beautiful vistas and all the things there were to do in that huge world.
And horse physics.
Yeah, surely we'll get another Red Dead game at some point. Right? Although Red Dead Redemption was technically Red Dead Revolver 2, right?
Yeah. It was a sequel to Red Dead Revolver.
Rockstar San Diego's working on something.
Yeah. I mean, the game was too much of a phenomenon to not get a sequel.
It's along with Crackdown, that's my favorite GTA game.
I also feel like Red Dead's esteem has grown over time.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, it was a phenomenon when it launched too, but like it's showing up on like greatest of all time lists now. A few years with hindsight to look back on it. Edge, for one, I think
Yeah.
it was on their list.
Came out, yeah.
Might potentially be on IGN's list.
Who knows?
Who
Maybe.
knows?
So that definitely works in favor of that game receiving a sequel as well.
Yeah, it's so great. You just wander around and play poker for hours. If you didn't
Well, the
wanna-
poker was no good in that game.
Or shoot,
no,
or
but,
shoot
but it will
things.
be next time around.
Put nuns on the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
The hunting. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cougars jumping on your head while you're doing that.
and then the whole Undead Nightmare expansion was
Yeah,
That was
amazing.
great.
Maybe best DLC ever.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Blood
Dragon.
Dragon. I'm just going to go home and play Red Dead now.
Yeah.
Do you have an answer, Damon?
Yeah, I had a few sprung to mind. I would love to see it. It's been a few years and a generation since we've had a Burnout game.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And that car crash pornography would look so good.
Yeah.
Bring back Crash Mode.
Crash physics.
I know, yeah. It's just Burnout was so fun.
Yeah, I mean, with these new consoles, you could literally like just do the exploded view
Yeah.
of a
Yeah.
car, just everything.
Yeah, I
It's
would
funny
love
how
to see what they could do.
you don't always know. Like I played dozens and dozens of hours of Burnout 3 Crash Mode, just trying to climb to the top of the leaderboard of every single intersection was like its own little puzzle to figure out.
Yeah.
And like now that's another game that frequently shows up on like greatest of all time lists.
Yeah.
But you didn't necessarily notice when you were in it. Like you just knew it was a great game. Like it was really fun. But it was like it's Burnout 3. Like you don't expect it to turn out to be one of the all-time classics once you have the
Yeah.
benefit of time. I have two more. I don't need to elaborate on them, but I want to see another Crimson Skies.
Oh yeah.
wow.
Could really benefit,
Nice, nice.
and I want to see another Odama.
Oh, that's awesome! Such a good idea. I loved Odama.
You have like Kinect and PlayStation Eye now, and like voice controls and like motion controls are so much more common.
Remind us all, Odama was a voice-controlled pinball game for
With
the
Samurai.
GameCube.
Yeah,
with
it was,
Samurai.
well, it was loosely pinball. So it was one of the very few accessories that used the GameCube microphone that snapped onto your GameCube controller, and then it was a pinball game in the sense that there was a ball bouncing around. But you could control armies on the pinball field by shouting into your microphone, saying, move up, move left, move right. And then they're sort of moving this ball around.
And it worked pretty well.
Well, sort of.
It was
you,
sort
like,
of like
screaming
it was
into
like
your controller.
Yeah, it was almost had more in common with like rugby than it did with pinball. The
Yeah.
big ball looked metallic, but really it was more about
The
where
ball
you
was
were
a
moving
face.
that thing. Yeah, it was.
Deeply, deeply strange game. Not really very good.
I liked it a lot.
Jared likes it.
But I played quite a bit of it until I just got shamed. I just couldn't play anytime my wife was around because I'm just shouting.
Yeah.
I'm shouting into my GameCube controller.
Now
and
you
it's-
have a little baby.
now I have a little baby and I just shout at her.
Anything about a Wii U controller?
Yeah.
Two more, Rainbow Six Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The game that was the first game I got with my Xbox 360, and I scanned my
Imagine
face
how good that face
in
technology
the game,
is
and
now.
my face was like, like, so I played through the whole game with this crazy looking face.
What's the new series that does? Is it NBA Live?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That does
they
it?
do that too. Yeah,
Does it turn out very good? I remember like the video coming out and
there's
it showed
some- yeah.
these horrible like sloth from the Goonie like creations.
Was it live or 2K? One of the NBA
yeah,
games.
one of the
Yeah,
NBA
one of the
games,
NBA games.
and of course, Shadow Complex.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Goodness
Tragically,
gracious.
never got a sequel to.
Yeah.
We know it just
Chair,
Chair.
like Rockstar San Diego, Chair's been working on something
For like ever.
for like 2 years.
Yeah.
yeah.